The brand new Pokemon Pocket Set Extradimensional Crisis is now out. We're going to go through all the cards. I'll tell you which ones are good, which ones are absolute ass. Get into everything. So this is the entire booster set right here. We'll go through every single card. Before we do that, I want to have a look at the supporters. In particular, some spoilers there if you haven't already seen. So we got a Beast Wall. During your opponent's next turn, all of Ultra Beasts take -20. So it's like an adamant for Beasts. To be fair, it's an item, not a supporter, so it's not terrible. Repel. Switch out your opponent's active basic Pokemon to the bench. It's an item Sabrina, but they have to be basic. I think this is really good. If we ever get like a Darkrai Giratina meta, this kind of punishes that. You don't even need a supporter to essentially use what is a Sabrina. So I kind of like that. Electrical Cord. So essentially this card charges up your bench. It's a battery. So when it gets knocked out, it's like Persimmon, but in a trainer, almost. So you take 2 energies and you put 1 energy to 2 of your bench. I like that. It's good. Right, so we got the Beastite tool. This attack does 10 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each point you've gotten. I don't actually mind that, especially in games where you're chasing. Doing a +20 every turn is actually pretty decent. Some people will say take a Rocky Helmet. You're going to get +20 anyway. I don't mind it. I think in niche situations this can be okay, I suppose. Right, we've got Gladion. Put 1 Type Null or Silvally from your deck into your hand. We'll have to see how good they are. Looker, if your opponent reveals all of the support cards in their deck. This is useless in a tournament, I'll tell you that straight away, because it's an open deck list. However, there are going to be games in like Master Ball, or if you're trying to push ranked, some opponents take some weird supporters that you don't see coming. It could change the way you play. I think this actually, don't sleep on this card, is what I will say. There are games that I play in Pocket where I essentially play into the hope that they don't have any kind of healing card like an Erica or anything like that. And this card would be able to tell me exactly what they've got. Supporters are, you know, the core of your deck. They're the most important cards. The only reason why we only play 1 of them a turn. For regular rank, don't sleep on it, is what I'm going to say. It could be useless, but I like the idea of it at the very least. And the final one is Lucamine. You can use this card only if your opponent has gotten at least 1 point. Choose 1 of your Ultra Beasts, attach 2 random energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. I really like this. I think this will make Ultra Beasts really, really popular. Any kind of support to help them at all. I mean, 2 energy is really useful, especially for an Ultra Beast that has like a high energy attack, and we'll get into some of the Ultra Beasts later. I think this will be a really good card. We'll see this in every form of competitive, I think. Right, let's start from the beginning then. So we have Petalil and Lilligant. I think Lilligant had a energy generating move from the first set, so I don't think it's as good. It's not terrible, but I don't know, not as good. Rowlet, this card's ass. Just use the other Rowlet. Coin flip cards, you know, you're not going to win consistently on. Other Rowlets are better. The bench sniping one's better. Dartrix essentially is that, but just twice as good. 20 damage to 1 of your opponent's Pokemon. Love that. Just take basically the Rowlet version of this. And Decidueye is literally anti-Oricorio. I think specifically doing 70 damage is really funny, because people will target Oricorio with this. You'll have games where you'll take 2 Decidueye EX and you'll take an extra stage 2 Decidueye to just deal with that yellow bird. This card doesn't even need damage on any opponent's Pokemon. You could just snipe whatever, so they could have a charging Oricorio in the back. I really like it. I think we actually might be able to see some Oricorio counter for the grass set, which is quite nice, other than taking Beedrill. Buzzwole EX. Now, controversially, you can disagree. I don't like this card. I think there are going to be situations where, like 120, we already saw with Solgaleo, it's just not enough really to keep up with the meta. And you can't use this move twice in a row, and punch is pitiful damage at 30. I could be wrong. Maybe with support with the Ultra Beast, like we've already seen the Ultra Beast cards get some support tools. I just don't think this card is very good. The HP is really low as well. If this was like 170, I feel like this card would be more useful, but I'm sorry, I personally don't see it. Similar cards don't get used as much. Look at Machamp, you know, that card never gets used. Similar kind of damage. for the same energy as well, and that doesn't have a downside. I'm sorry, I just don't. I know it's a basic, but I just don't think this card is all that really. Veramosa's okay. It does 20 and 20 bench. Could set up a Cyrus. I don't know. 70 damage. 70 HP is all right. Kartana, I'm a huge fan of. This is basically Grass Farfetch'd. I love Farfetch'd. I've been a huge fan. Literally since the set has come out. I try and fit it in a lot of decks. And the fact that this can do super effective damage as well for 1 energy. I really like the card. Does a lot of early pressure. I think this could be used in a lot of grass decks. I'm a huge fan. Blacephalon is the only fire type. This might not be very good. I don't know. 70 recall is absolutely horrendous for a 100 HP Pokemon. You're going to knock yourself out if you use it twice. There are going to be situations where I suppose that you know, when this card goes down, you could use the supporting tool. Use this supporter here to attach 2 random energy. So with that in mind, maybe you could play some fancy way Blacephalon. I don't know. I just don't think this card's all that great. I don't know. Mantine is crap. Don't bother. It's literally Zorora, but without an ability. I know it's a basic, but I'm sorry. I don't know. This card's not great. Sharpedo is like interesting, I suppose. You won't see this get used, but it'll be funny in like a meme deck. You'll see a YouTuber make a video on it. I don't know. The Shinx is way better than what we've got already. The Hide Shinx is crap compared to this, so that's great. I think the Luxray is also better. Other Blitzle, other Zeb Striker is also better, I'm sorry. Like Zeb Striker, you could say is useful for 2 energy to swing for 70. I don't personally think so. And Tapu Koko. I like this card. I think it's a good EX card. It charges itself up. 90 is not great. Kind of reminds me of Starmie. Starmie also had a similar HP. I don't think this will be too meta, to be honest, but if you're using an electric deck, it's not the end of the world. Xurkitree is just way too much energy for 60 to confuse. And Zorora is only good if you literally start first, because you get to attach energy from Energy Zone to it on your first turn. So if you get it in your hand, that's great. If you don't, well, unlucky. Right, then we move on to the Psychic cards. Clefairy, 10 for Colourless. Clefable, 60. We won't get used. They hate Trevenant. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but Pocket hate Trevenant. This is the second Trevenant we've got in a row. It's horrendous. I don't understand. I love Trevenant so much, but they kill him every time. And it kills me too. Shinotic is really interesting. It's just, can you fit it in a deck? I mean, thankfully, it's colourless, so you could fit it in a lot more than maybe some people are thinking, but yeah, it's getting this card out early. It's evolving early. Could be useful, though. So watch this space for that. Having, you know, every turn you're essentially picking up 2 cards. Don't sleep on that. We got new Meditite and Medicham. I like the Medicham. Some people might go for the Gamba one, where it's like 80 damage for 1 energy. It's a coin toss. I like the 50. It's like a slightly better Primate. I think that was 80 HP for 50. So we're seeing a little bit of curve there. Claydol, heal block. To stop both you and your opponent healing. So you take this in a deck that has no heals, or you could heal and then evolve to stop your opponent healing. Situational, but could be useful, especially in against an EX deck that has lots of sustain. Lycanroc's bad. I'm sorry. I just don't see how this card is very good. You cannot charge anything in the back while you have this. It's 2 retreat. Just take Rampardos. It does the same damage. It's not an EX. I don't get it personally. I think the 2 energy Lycanroc is probably better than this as well. That swings for 100 when it has lower HP. I just don't see the hype for this. To be honest, a lot of these cards are not super impressive. This Persimmon is probably better than the other EX that we got last set, as it can swing for 80. That's crazy, by the way, that the basic non-EX could actually do more damage than the EX version of itself. That is absolutely ridiculous to think about. We have a new Sandygast and Palossand. Once again, Sandygast is not super useful. Palossand, they're so scared to make Palossand good because they gave it a specific supporter. 4 energy is just insane. I'm sorry, you cannot justify 90 damage for 4 energy. I know it's a trapping move, but it's 130 HP. This is just still bad. Like, even with Ace Roller, it's I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just not seeing it myself, but 4 energy. 4 for 90 damage is ridiculous. Meowth and Persian I find quite funny. It could counter things like Skarmory if they're not careful. I find that funny. Persian has like Incineroar's favorite move from VGC, which I also find funny because you can keep using it unlike the VGC game. Crocodile I think could be very good, by the way. I saw this online. For each heads, you flip 3 coins, and a card is chosen from random to remove from their hand. This could be so mean. Like, you got to remember it is stage 2. You have to use 3 energy to charge it up. 90 damage. This, by the way, is already far better than what Palossand can offer. It might be a situation where you completely take away your opponent's way of winning. I don't know. You'll see this in like a YouTube Shorts or a TikTok where they've took all their opponents like evolution cards away or whatever. Could be funny. Nihilego, it's just a poison card which does extra poison. Could be good in the poison decks. It's all right. I'm not super bothered about that card. This I think could be the card of the set. Guzzlord EX, very high HP. We all expected that, to be honest. And a 30 damage move for 2 and a 120 damage move for 4. Flip a coin until you get tails. This is literally Team Rocket Grunt every single time you use this move. This could be such a troll move. I love it. This is fantastic. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to be meta. What I find really funny is, I don't know who would do this, but you could be a psycho and just bring this into like any random deck and just use this for grindcore. I don't know why or who or why you do that, but technically you could use this in any deck because this is colorless. But this could be a very funny troll card, is what I'm trying to say. And it's got the bulk to back it up if you get a couple tails in a row, get some sustain. I think this could be a very useful card. Boypole and Nagandal, they're okay. I don't like coin flip cards. 40 for poison's alright. And then we get to the worst EX I think they've ever made. Where do I start? I don't even know if this is better than Marowak, to be honest. Marowak, if you get lucky, you flip 2 heads, you do 160. I suppose the idea is you get an extra head for just 20 less damage. So it was probably a little bit better than Marowak, but it has less HP and you can do nothing. Awful card. Like, power creep does not exist, apparently, when cards like this can be made. Who would use this? Tell me. Who would use this? There are so many Steel EX cards I would use over this. Like, why use this, right, when you've got even Probopass? Why use this when you've got Solgaleo? Like, I don't know who this is designed for, to be honest. This is genuinely one of the worst cards they've ever made. But it's a fun art. I'll say that. The art team smashed it. Aron, Lairon, Aggron. This just reeks of Torterra that we've seen before with the 150 damage and you can't attack next turn. I'm just not a fan of this kind of card. Does a lot of damage, but I don't know. You just kind of stuck out there, especially with the retreat of 4. You know, attacking once every 2 turns for a stage 2. Not a fan. Ferrothorn and Ferroseed. Ferrothorn's crap. I'm sorry. 2 recall is great. It's Rocky Helmet, but 3 energy for 70. This card will never get used. Stack Attacker. If it weren't for the fact it's an Ultra Beast, this card will also never get used. I still don't think people will use this card. It's 40 damage for 2. Kartana is 40 for 1. And you get minus 20 from... I don't know. I just don't see this card being super useful. It's just... This Ultra Beast symbol is carrying this card so hard. We've got Lillipup, Herdia, and Stoutland. This could actually be a very good card. Ability here, as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active cost 1 energy more. I like that. This will catch people out. People who are unprepared for Stoutland, you'll win games based off people not knowing Stoutland's ability, which will happen at first. The more popular this card gets, you're going to see it be less impactful, essentially. But I think this could be a very useful card. 70 damage for 2 as well. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Stuffle and Beware. Beware reminds me of the Aerodactyl card we got in the very first set, where it was like 2 energy and it'd go into your hand. This is 3 energy and it's knocked out. It's like a last resort kind of card. A hit and hope. I don't know. It's more like a meme. I feel like you'll see this as a gimmick than anything else. You can fit it in any deck, but we'll see. Oranguru is ass. Type Null and Silvally. If you play a supporter card from your hand during this turn, that does 50 more damage. This is not a bad card. This is not a bad card. You're going to be using supporters a lot. A lot of decks we see quite commonly now. Fewer Pokemon, more supporters, and more items. I think this could have some play. Celestina, this I think is what's going to tie all the Ultra Beasts together. Once during your turn, you may switch your active Ultra Beast with one of your bench Ultra Beasts. This essentially will just be like shaming for Ultra Beasts. I like that. I think they had to make its move kind of ass in order to use this. It's colorless, so the idea is you just slap this in any Ultra Beast deck. It's a nice card. However, there are going to be situations, and this is a warning for anyone who wants to play this card. Look at this high retreat. This retreat card, this has 4 cost. If you have this as your only basic, it's dying out there. You just have to wave goodbye to it. Maybe you bring a Rocky Helmet in this kind of deck just in case. Like, you can just build something in the back. Maybe you somehow luckily get the other Celestina and you can pivot your damage front one out. But, I don't know, bad RNG, that's brutal. We see, we saw in the last set how Turtonator out first can be really rough without a supporter card to boost its energy with the full retreat. And we could be seeing the exact same thing here with Celestina. Hopefully you're not that unlucky when you bring this. And that's it. We're back to the items that we read earlier. Some of the full arts. I'm a huge fan of the Meowth. I think Silvally looks cool. And then we go into the EXs. Buzzwole. I love the red. It's just very, very red. The art team are brilliant. Dugtrio for being probably the worst card. Definitely the worst card in the set, if not the worst card in the game. Or at least one of. The art is like the best for it in typical fashion. Like, look at that. This card is designed so well. The color matches the Pokemon brilliantly. Such a shame. And then unfortunately we're back to the shinies. I mean, I just don't like it. This is the Aerodactyl I was on about, actually. I forgot it was down here. This is the Aerodactyl that's similar to Beware. It's 2 energy, but it goes into the deck. So you'd probably rather Beware than this Aerodactyl. As like a funny gimmick, like, oh, nice card you've got there, goodbye. I don't know. Oh, and the gold is Nihilego. Is this the most random selection they've ever had? Did they put cards on a dartboard and throw randomly and be like, oh, it's landed on Nihilego, yeah, we'll make this gold? It's not an EX card, it's not a supporter, it's not an item, it's the first non-EX Pokemon that is a gold. And of all the Ultra Beasts, is it that good? I think it's a bit more gimmicky than anything. Poison decks will use it. I thought Guzzlord would have been the choice for the gold, to be honest. I'd have had Kartana over this as a gold. But yeah, there you go. And the last thing I'll say, I'm not a big fan of the shinies. I mean, they're all right, I suppose, but it's just kind of boring seeing some of the old cards. At least it's not many. I think this is better than how they did it before. There was way more shinies. Greninja is always meta relevant, so I suppose this is kind of cool. You'll always see that this always comes back round. This thing never dies. Whenever Greninja is out of the meta, give it a few weeks, it'll be back in there again. So having that available as a shiny, not terrible. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. What's your favorite card of the set? Is there a card that you're going to push for? I'm a Guzzlord believer. We'll see. I love the let's go gambling of this card. I don't know. We'll see. It could be more fun than good, to be honest. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And tomorrow, there's going to be a pack opening video that is out for you guys to watch. I'm going to open loads of the new set, and we'll see what I get. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.